Hello, everyone. I forgot I was on my laptop and I was trying to touch screen hit the touch screen. But welcome to another Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. We are excited to have you all here, and we are looking forward to another fun Sunday here, where we're going to be talking about how to use AI. For any of you that have been out there who have been hesitant maybe about using AI, today's your day to join this room. If you have friends out there that you think might benefit, maybe you have that family member or that coworker that's like, yeah, I haven't dived into it yet. Today's the day to join us. Invite them, repost this room, let them know that we're going on live so your network can join us, because we're going to be doing live demos. We're going to be doing sharing some real prompts and letting you come up and join us and ask your questions of what you wish you could do with ChatGPT, and let us show you how easy it is. But before we get started, let's do some introductions. How are you doing today, Miss Houston?
I'm really excited for this, guys. I'm not really a big fan, or wasn't a big fan of AI when it hit the streets, and now it's part of my routine pretty regularly. It doesn't write for me, but it does do a ton for me, and so I can't wait to dive in. Guys, we want you to help us though. I want you to think about what Felipe and I are about to do. We're gonna start with like a Mad Libs version, 80s style, right? You guys know it's the morning time. Think about Saturday morning cartoons on a Sunday morning. Mad Libs little pad comes out. We're gonna fill in the blanks, and we're gonna have AI help us do that. But we want you to give us some of those prompts. What if you've been wanting to ask AI and you don't want it to track you? We're going to make Felipe let it track him, and we're going to let it track me. We're going to cover a couple of different things, but I'm excited about all of it, Felipe, because genuinely, it's going to keep coming into the workplace, right? Even in the retail environment that I spend 40 plus hours a week in, they're prompting the leadership in stores to use it 10 minutes a day minimum to train and of themselves, right? Different ways that we can use it within the workplace. And then we share it within a Slack channel. And so to do this, if it's starting in retail, guys, you're already late if you're in corporate and not incorporating it. So thanks for doing this with me. I know you were an early adopter. To be truthful, I have a question before we dive in too far, though. Do you know the first time you used AI in the workplace? Because I'll tell you, in background screening, it's been around quite a long time, but we just didn't really talk about it in the way that it's talked about today. And so I'm kind of wanting to start there and disassemble the idea of AI being new. But that's where I am. That's where my
I
brain
mean,
is today.
I think my first experience with AI was probably, and I'm sure there was earlier versions of things that are considered AI, but it was probably like the applicant tracking systems when I was at Hyatt in the late 90s, where you could start asking questions of like, are you a US citizen? Because we were having a lot of people apply that were asking for visas and sponsorship, and it was flooding our application systems with so many resumes that we couldn't consider. And so that was the first time I think I really opened, like, wow, this is cool. It knows which ones are able to answer the question and eliminate them from my applicant pile. And to me, that was like mind blowing. But not too long after that, I think for all of us, the first iPhone really, the first smartphone that came out really was, and actually, I take that back. We had the Palm Pilot, but the Palm Pilot was a phone that had smart capabilities, but it was not a smartphone. So, or even the BlackBerry, for those of you who remember those. So I think the iPhone was the first
I
experience
still
of
miss
more.
that sound the BlackBerry made, Felipe. That was my favorite phone. I had the BlackBerry Pearl, and I miss that click button, rolly scrolly thing. I miss it.
Sorry, if you hear
Sorry.
that noise, that's Lulu just joined us for her Sunday visit. She's here with Copper. So if you hear dogs around getting all excited, she just got here this morning. Um, so I have one question for you. What was your first experience with AI? I mean, you said background screening, but was that the first one?
Honestly, I think Google as a whole, as soon as, because I was raised in that generation of Oregon Trail and in the classroom, everybody got an hour a week to go learn how to paint in Word. I think when I had access to Google is really when I can first think about my deep dives of AI, that artificial intelligence going to scrape all of the resources that it had available to me. But then genuinely, that is exactly what background screening did, but at a court level, right? The court researchers or court reporters would upload it all into a research database where we could scrape the data for names, socials, dates of birth, whatever it was at the time that we were using. And so I think genuinely it was always just like, hey, think for me faster, find that thing faster is always the way I've used AI, which is why it's so natural to me once I started really getting used to like prompts that did not write my content. I was anti write this post for me. That's where I got angry. I was like, that's not creativity. That's copy paste. I don't like copy paste. I don't. I think it's cool for some uses, right? When you need to put that 6-digit code from your text messaging into the computer screen so you can unlock that account. That's cool. Copy paste. But
I love that feature.
Right? I mean, but I don't love it from an AI standpoint. And so if you guys are anti-AI because you don't want to lose your voice, congrats. You can still do that. And we're going to show that too, because we're not here to say, hey, let AI beat you. That is the opposite of what we're saying. Let AI encourage you to work smarter, not harder. Let it do some things to help you maybe prompt yourself, right? I use AI to prompt my brain thought and always have with Google. Just going in and having conversations like, why are some birds red and some blue? Why is it, the sky is orange in Arizona and pink in California? And just dumb stuff. But there's no limit to how we can use it. And when you really start getting creative with your questions, your prompts, the who, what, where, when, whys, it really becomes simple, right? And so that's just where it overlaps for me. I'm so excited. Guys, by the way, I'm Melissa Houston, cultivator of dreams, motivator of human capital. What that means is I help people figure out what they want to be when they grow up and get a plan together. Go check out the website, documentthenact.com, to learn more about me. Felipe, why don't you tell them who you are so we can get into playing with our friends?
Well, I asked ChatGPT who I am, and I could read you that, but it's one of those things that's a neat thing to be able to do, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But for those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofiño. I'm a passionate HR executive, a career coach, founder of Cofiño Consulting, and recently named LinkedIn Top Voice. And that's one of the things that, LinkedIn has been a great journey, I think, for Melissa and I both. It's a way for us to give back. And that's one thing that I've really enjoyed being able to do over these last 3 to 5 years is share the knowledge, experiences, mistakes that we've made so that y'all don't have to make those same mistakes. And AI is one of those tools that I'm excited to talk about because for me, I love helping people. I want to retire one day and be able to continue helping people remotely, hopefully by somewhere nice and water, maybe, I don't know. But AI is going to give me more time to be able to do that. It's one of those gifts that it allows, if you use it right and don't let it replace you, like Melissa said, it's going to allow you to have time to focus on things that matter, things that you want to focus on, because those time-consuming tasks that, yeah, they're valuable, the end result's valuable, but how much time it takes to do it is a time sucker. You have an opportunity to take that time and focus it on something so much more valuable. And that's what we hope that you take away from today is a chance to do that. So my Felipe's 5 are really simple ones. They're really just 5 quick things about, AI if you're just starting to really play with it, not if you already know about it. And then Melissa and I are going to go and give you real life examples of how she is going to do a prompt, how I'm going to do a prompt. We're going to invite you up here on stage for you to say, hey, can it do this? I want you to challenge Melissa and I. Challenge us saying, well, I bet you can't do this. And let us try. Or if you have something coming up, a vacation, a big party or dinner, maybe you have a wedding like my daughter has coming up soon, those are questions that ChatGPT or AI can help you. Now, I keep on saying ChatGPT, and if you keep on hearing coughing, Lulu's got a little hairball apparently. I apologize. If you keep on hearing ChatGPT, we're going to be sharing you Gemini, other versions of this, so that you can actually understand that there's other types of AI you can use, not just ChatGPT. So,
and none of this is in. I just want to say we're not being paid for this by any of these entities either. This is not a paid advertisement for any of them. It is free information for you guys. We're using the free versions of all of these platforms to display this. So we're not even doing anything you can't do right now with us. You could open up these tools with us, put in the same prompts. You could change the color maybe of the prompt or a term in the prompt, but you can follow along and do it with your free version to see what it looks like. So don't be scared to try too, guys. You can even ask it, hey, somebody's going to demonstrate AI live on LinkedIn. What should I ask them to demonstrate? And it will give you ideas. Just to get into the first example. Felipe, sorry, go. You got
no. I was actually getting it over to you. But so real quick, let me do this. Let me just go over Felipe's 5 that are just, again, these are just 5 things for people to remember if you're using AI like ChatGPT for the first time. All right. So very high level things, you all. So first one is this: start with something small and real, like we just talked about. Maybe it's help me write a professional out of office email, or give me 3 dinner ideas with what's in my fridge, which is a great thing to do. I got to tell you, it works wonderfully. My wife is a ChatGPT lover now because I showed her how to meal plan for the week with what we had in our fridge and pantry. Number 2 is simply talk to it like a human being. You don't need to write anything professional. Just say, I need help with this. Can you help me figure out how to do this? So example, I need help wording this text to my coworker, and I want it to sound more friendly, and, because I'm sounding too stern. It will give you versions of that. Number 3, simply refine your process. If the first response you get isn't perfect or what you ask for more detail or a different angle. So example, that's too formal. Can you make this more casual? Or what if I only had 15 minutes to do this? Can you give me a plan to do this in 15 minutes? So have almost a brainstorming session. Go back and forth with it. Don't take the first answer as gospel. It's going to give you as much as you give it. So the more you give it, the better it will be. And number 4, review it before you use it. Okay, this is, again, I think, good for anything that you do in life. Review it before you use it. It can be helpful. But you're still the expert. You always want to check your stuff before you send an email. Well, why aren't you checking the AI for the tone, the facts, the flow? So think of it as a draft until you tweak it, make some corrections, be like, I never use that word. I'm going to use a different word. Let me take that one out. Or I don't like the way this is too long. I want to take out this one sentence. And so things like that. Make sure that you review it and make it your own. And then the 5th one is simply, let's get to the screen here. Be curious, not overly cautious. Like Melissa said, AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's important for you to just be curious about it. Don't be afraid. And originally I was going to say, don't be cautious. No, you need to be cautious because you don't want to give it personal identifiable information that you want to put out there. You want to keep, confidential information away from ChatGPT, but you can ask questions around those topics. So be curious about it, explore. The more you do it, the more you'll enjoy it, and just treat it like a creativity booster, or thought partner, or brainstormer, or that silent coworker. All right, so that is what I want to share for Felipe's 5. So, Miss Houston, would you like to go with the first prompt and share your thoughts or your example of how simple using AI can be?
Oh, yeah. Let's do this. Felipe, I'm going to share my screen. They're going to get to see
Please do.
everything here. Hold on. Let's go.
All right.
We're going with Claude.
If you see any dirty laundry, it's not my fault, y'all.
Oh, please. Listen, we're going to go with Claude, guys. I'm showing you this. This is my first time using it. I just set up my free account this morning, and it said, hey, welcome. What should I call you? And I was like, well, hello, I'm Melissa. Here's my bubble. Let me set the standard. I also go by, right? And so I gave it this name, which I just thought would be brilliant for marketing purposes also on YouTube. Follow Felipe there. Okay, so this is a fresh prompt, but the coolest thing about AI is you get to tell it what to do, right? So let's just say I'm having a really bad day with my kids. It's Sunday, family time. I'm realizing maybe there's chores piling up around the house. The kids aren't really on top of it. Husband and I are like, how are we going to get this together? The week's coming. How do we get them focused? Hey, I am struggling, right, with household chores. Felipe, give me some ages. Any ages at all?
6, 8, and 12.
and 12. Oops, guys, I'm not perfect. Give me a sample chore chart.
Wait, actually, change the 6 to a 4-year-old. Let's make it more challenging.
And let's make it include a 4-year-old. See, we don't even have to change the whole prompt. We could just go ahead and say, hey, I decided to do this right now. So it's thinking. I just hit enter. I'm sipping my coffee going, please send that special nanny in to help me out. Guys, live as we go. It's making my chore chart. Right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this magic, is the best thing.
I mean,
right?
You couldn't even write this fast.
Right. But how do I reward and discipline, right? When used. And then I hit enter again. It's thinking really hard. Maybe I have to wait.
Hopefully AI does not use any
kind of discipline. It's still cooking. I can't do. Look, it's giving me reward ideas. It already knew I wanted it, right? But let's expand on it.
Wait. What did it say about discipline?
I'm going to go back up, but hold on. I want it to think, right? So it's thinking. I wanted to show them. It can think while I go back. So guys, here's a basic weekly chore chart. We have the child by ages, daily, weekly, and monthly chores. I like this, especially with my to-do list breakdown, guys. I always have 3, so this works with the way I would coach you to do it anyway. Rotating task chart. It doesn't have to be the same chore every day, right? Putting toys away, feeding the pets, setting the table, emptying the dishwasher, watering plants, making the bed, clearing the table. These are simple things, guys. And then here's rewards based on what they did, even points allocated, right? Who earns them and how many points will it take to get the reward? And I got to tell you, when my husband and I were doing this before ChatGPT or Claude or any of these guys existed, we used an app called ROUR, Home, all one word. And we were able to allocate points, set this up in a system. If I were to use this in conjunction with the app, it will allow everybody in the house to see their required points daily. Like I was able to set a threshold, a goal. If you brush your teeth, wash your face, make your bed, do your homework, you hit the threshold to maintain your tech. Anything above that earns you extra rewards, right? And so then you have rewards-based systems, guys. What does it look like? Some of our rewards were a night out with a parent of choice. You get to an extra hour of TV time. You get to pick the movie. You get to buy a video game or a gift card or whatever it was, right? Discipline approach, guys. First response, give a reminder. Think about this in the workplace, right? I'm like, I love this. Let me tell it. I love this. Now make this useful for a retail environment, right? I work with people who could use maybe a chore chart or something, or maybe I need a to-do list for my work system, a reward system. Look at this. This is how you can quickly improve your soft skills with feedback. Felipe, I'm going to stop here. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
No, I think you demonstrated just how easy it is. You asked it a question, you had it correct something, you had it add something. This is just how simple it is, you all, and this is where we want you all to feel comfortable. And to create an account, it's free. It doesn't require any money. You don't need to require any credit cards. It's free. There are paid versions if you want to upgrade, and we'll talk about that at the end. I do want to say hello to some of our friends here. Jillian Whitney, it's so great to see you here as always. She loves it. It's just about being curious. It's great to see Meryl here. It's great to see who else? Lisa Fevek is here in the house. Jackie Hallberg is here. So
I love the ASMR approach, guys. I'm glad I could bring that to you. I didn't know you could hear the tap tap. Also, Aaron asked the question. This is not ChatGPT. It is AI, but his name is Claude, Claude. He is another version of AI that's accessible. There's so many platforms out there, guys. ChatGPT is kind of like saying Google it, even though you may go to Yahoo or you may go to Bing, or it's that blanket statement, right? And so just be careful, because not everything is ChatGPT, but all of it functions very comparably.
And so I'm going to show you all something real quick here. Hold on, let me just do one thing here while it's doing this. I want to do some things in the background. To talk about Melissa real quick while I finish this one part here.
I also need them to say which one of us has a better keyboard sound. I think I win because mine sounds like Lego. But no, guys. So I'm glad you like. Sorry, I'm glad you guys like it. Meryl says, "Oh my God, that is incredible." Melissa in Houston, and it's OMG. Sorry, but yeah, same. It is incredible, guys. The thought that you can go in. I did this for an event I was hosting. Right, I've used it for many ways, shapes, and form. But to just go in and have that conversation, think about it as that parent you've always wished, that mentor, right? Like, hey, here's life's problem. Help me fix it. Felipe, are you ready to do your demo of your next prompt? Because we could do a lot of prompts, but guys, we also want you to drop some in the comments. What is one of those life issues you want us to ask AI, right? This is how we're showing you we could use it. Just a couple of quick variations of ways we can think beyond the box, right? That's really it. Everybody can use Google to ask the same kind of questions, and you can dig into the links. This one created the chart in front of you while you were sipping your coffee, just high-fiving your husband. Felipe, go for it.
All right. So, and I think that's what I want to realize is that it can do stuff for you while you're doing so many other things, and multitasking is just one of the many things. So, all right. So for me, I want to show you all. So I'm going to show you all what we did with my wife. And I'm sorry, I'm getting used to how this is done here. Okay. All right. So here is, let's go to this one here. Can you all, I just
Felipe, I would say go big on just that one and drop us off because it's a little harder to read with us hanging out, if you can.
Yes, I can. All right. So, all right. Let's see now. Did my screen change? Hold on.
I'm seeing your chat GPT.
All right. Now can you see the whole screen?
I can. Yep. It just says, what can I help with? We're ready to go.
All right, good. So this is ChatGPT, you all. So, you get a blank screen. And what I did with my wife is she was stressing out about, meal planning. She feels like we save money when she meals plan. She eats healthier. She loses weight when she meals plan. So for her, it was something that the stress was not all of that. It was coming up with the ideas and what do we have and what do we have to buy. So the exercise I did with her is like, let's do this. Do me a favor. Go in, let's go downstairs. And I opened ChatGPT and I said, do me a favor. Just write down the things I yell out. So I opened the refrigerator and I yelled out items in the refrigerator. So just like this list here, you'll see butter, margarine, stuff like that. You find some leftovers, condiments. And then I said, okay, now the pantry also. And so I read 20 items from the pantry, flour, rice, sugar. Okay. Now, at the end of this or at the beginning of this, you can do it whatever you want. But I'm going to put it at the very beginning. I'm going to say, and you can type in the middle of this and it'll or in the beginning or at the end, it will know how to decipher it. So take these items and create 4 meals for this week, if I can type, and give me the recipes for these meals. All right, pretty simple, right? Nothing too crazy. Also, if you want to add, make them gluten-free or vegan, or I'm lactose intolerant. Let's put this in here.
You can even tell them to feed
my
kids
is lactose intolerant. I don't know if I spelled that right. Ironically, I spelled is wrong. Isn't that nice? Okay, so all right, so I'm going to hit click now, right? So all I wrote was take these items and create 4 meals for this week and give me the recipes for these meals. And one of my kids is lactose intolerant. So it just took all the crap I had in the refrigerator and pantry. I don't know what else I need. And here's what it's doing. All right, meal 1, veggie and bean tacos with hummus spread. All right, my wife loves that. But here's the thing. Here are the ingredients that I have. here are instructions. Here's meal 2. 1 pot tomato, rice, and chicken veggies. All right. And then, so it's going to keep on going. It's going to give you 4 meals. Now, here's the thing. Say, okay, you know what? I'm not really loving these. All right.
I'll be honest. Number
What?
3, I'm like, no tofu for me, Felipe.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna be
what
saying,
meals?
Melissa doesn't like tofu, and
What
she's
meals
coming over and will complain.
What meals can you give me if I went out and bought 5 items? Because say you're on a budget, you don't have a lot of money, but like, okay, I can buy like 5 items. I don't know what that would do. All right. And I didn't tell it what 5 items, just 5 additional items. All right. So here are the 5 items it's going to add to the list: tortillas, avocados, sweet potatoes, lactose-free shredded cheese, and frozen peas. Not too expensive, but now, okay, so to give you the same hummus and avocado wrap, but that's actually pretty good. I kind of like that one. Sweet potato and black bean hash. All right.
This is
Let's see
torture.
about your third one. Dairy-free quesadillas with mixed veggies. Why is doing tofu? We didn't say we were vegetarian. I don't.
Because you didn't listen. Tell it. Say Melissa despises tofu. Try again.
Okay.
Tell it that. And have fun with it, guys. Talk to it like it's normal.
Like tofu, and no one is a vegetarian. And I didn't say rewrite it or give me 5 more or give me 4 more. I just said, I don't like this. I said, okay, look, thanks for the clarification. Since your household prefers meat-based meals and doesn't like eat tofu or follow a vegetarian diet, here's some examples. All right. So I still had the 5 same things, right? But look, chicken and veggie tacos with avocado. That's very different now. Sweet potato and chicken skillet. Ooh, all right. Now let's see what it did with your tofu dish. Turkey and chicken quesadillas. That sounds so much better than a tofu quesadilla, doesn't it, Houston? Melissa?
It does. I honestly, Adrian, you just gave me a challenge, and I was copy pasting Adrian's comment because that's my next prompt.
All right, one thing just for fun I was doing. I don't know if it did it or not. Let me see if it worked. Oh my God, I think it translated the wrong let's see what it did. Oh no. All right, it didn't do it yet. All right, let me go back. All right, so let me go back to the screen here. Minimize. All right, so Miss Houston, before we continue, so I wanted to look at the chat here, but also remind people that, again, that's just one household example of how easy it is to take something you already have and add some easy things. But this is like just the low-hanging fruit, you all. There's so much more it can do. Houston, do you want to share some more stuff here while I put the link in the chat? And then as people want to join us to share their questions or challenges, we're going to keep on giving examples. But Houston, over you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to start sharing my screen again because I really do love this prompt that was given. So I'm going to Gemini this time. This one is by Google, and you'll see on the left that I've actually used it for food prep myself. I do live events, community events, and it's really hard to come up with creative ways to use less than $200 to feed 87 bikers this last event. And so I was just like, hey, I have some great ideas, but I've done them all. Do I just keep replicating the same 12, mix up the sauces? And it did help. But we had a prompt come in. And this one is Adrian wants it to create chores for my cat. So I'm going to say, do it. Create chores for my cat. And let's be honest. It says, if only they were as enthusiastic about tidying as they were about naps. But it says, while it won't do your laundry, we can do some chores. And it gave you guys ideas: toy retrieval, puzzle mastery, cardboard crusher and shredder, watching for birds, right? Laser pointer acrobatics and fun stuff. And then like, okay, I'm just going to come in and go, okay, just kidding. I was just waking up, right? Just trying to get this guy going. I need you to act like a mechanic. right? How many of us are mechanics, guys? Because I'll be honest, right? I'm not. We're going to pretend that all of a sudden I have an issue. My car just started overheating. It was fine, then not. Any ideas? Right? You're panicking on the side of the road while you're waiting for your tow truck to come. Here's some things. It's like, hey, first things, don't drive. You just overheated. You better be pulled over, right? These are the things you should check really quick. Is it coolant level? Are your hoses still attached? When I overheated, guys, the first thing when I popped the hood, my hose had slid off and I fixed it, right? I was able to add coolant, which we kept in the trunk. But if not, what about a radiator cap and thermostat, water pump? Okay, you know what? I am having a really bad day. My washer won't drain. Right? And it's like, is it unplugged? Make sure you do that before you do something dangerous. Here's some of the usual suspects that you can check pretty easy, guys, right? I don't know where that stuff is. I have a Maytag. Can you help? Right? And sorry, I'm not spelling correctly or whatever. Who cares, right? I'm having a really bad day. My car and my washers are broken. Guys, here's how it is. Oh, for a front load, for a top load, right? Look at this, guys. Great. You can go into deep research. Hey, guys, I want to go into deep research for this, right? We're going to start a new chat. I'm going to say, my Maytag won't drain. Can you find videos to troubleshoot? Guys, here's the websites, right? You can start your research. You can get a plan together. There's a lot of fun you can do, but if you don't try, you're never going to know. So that's where I'm going to stop right now with this share, Felipe, and hand it back to you.
All right. Well, I'm putting the link in the comments here in the chat. So for everyone to join us on stage if you'd like. And I'm just putting it in both chats, the one here, as well as on the comments of the event. And so the other thing I wanted to share is this. So there are also other features that you can do with this. You can create prompts that will ask you questions, and you can tell it saying, I want to create a better version of this document that sounds more like me. Ask me 10 questions to get to know me better. So the more it gets to know you and the more you use your account, the more it's going to be able to understand what your voice sounds like and what your values are and what your tone usually is and what activities. So it is something that it will get to know you. So the more you use it, the better it will be at giving you answers that sound like you, but also it will know what you're trying to resonate when you do speak. So as far as other things that ChatGPT can do, when you're looking for jobs, if you're right now in the government and you're looking to career pivot, have a conversation with ChatGPT. Put in there, hey, let's just do this. I'm going to show you how it knows history. All right. And do me a favor, if any of you end up wanting to come up on stage and I'm not seeing your hand raised, just let me know. All right. So let's
Felipe,
go
I would
over
go
here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to start a new chat here. All right. So now here's what I want it to do. All right. This is my account. It knows me. So I'm going to
drop
say.
this off, though, because we can't see your screen right now.
Oh, wait. Oops. Is that better?
Perfect. Yep.
Wait,
thanks.
And I dropped the side panel too. It should be going too, hopefully.
It's not.
No, I didn't. Now it is. Wait. Now it is.
There you go.
Oh, wait. I was trying to create an image of us, as you can tell here. All right. So this one here knows me. So I'm going to say, I no longer want to be in HR with the skills you know about me. What other jobs should I look at, and what industries? All right, that's all I'm going to tell it, because I've been using ChatGPT for over a year now. It knows enough about me, I think, to give me some guidance without me having to tell it. Now, if you're new, this is where you want to say, ask me 20 questions to get to know me better. And it'll come back at you with 20 questions to answer. But right now, I want to test the history. So let's see what it says. All right. Nothing too specific here. All right. And there's about executive coaching. There's about workshop facilitation. All right. So it's giving me different options that are not HR specific. Okay. And I like these. These are all, I talk about wellness. I do training, professional coaching and speaking, do that full time, that kind of thing. Program director or fellowship manager. Ooh, for nonprofits, didn't think about that. It's a nice one. So here are some industries now, and it's telling me why it thinks it fits to my industry. So you can see it's values driven. It knows that's important to me. I talk about that all the time. Emotional intelligence. I'm always talking about emotional intelligence, you all. Passion for growth. I'm a forever learner. Okay. Facilitation, like we do here right now. Storytelling, like we do on LinkedIn. So it really it has gotten to know me pretty well. The only thing that I would say that it does not recognize is that healthcare is probably an industry I would probably stay away from, because that's an industry that I just have not done much in at all, and I don't feel comfortable in. But then it asks you follow-up questions. If you're open to a bolder pivot, consider, and it gives you other ideas. And then it gives you next steps. Clarify your top 2 or 3 values to give ChatGPT more idea. Update your LinkedIn profile and resume so it can have more information about you. Do some exploratory work. It gives you homework. All right. And it says reach out to people in those industries or roles for virtual coffees. Frame it as curious. It even gives you an idea of how to approach somebody about having a virtual coffee. Say, hey, I'm just curious about exploring, not job hunting. I just want to learn more about the company, So, and then lastly, it always gives you a follow-up. Would you like me to do something more for you? Would you like me to write a new a positioning statement, a sample resume, bullet transformation, or build a list of target companies to explore? All you gotta say is, watch. I just say yes. I didn't say which one. It's going to give me all 3. Here's a new positioning statement. So I don't want to be HR specific on my headline anymore or LinkedIn. It's telling me, here's your new headline that it recommends. If I don't like anything about it, I'm going to say, go ahead. It's even writing me an about section. Look at this. It wrote my about section for me for LinkedIn. And then resume, I need to upload it, obviously. Before I'm HR focused, now I'm strategic and general audience. So obviously I can get a lot more specific about this, you all. I can definitely, I can talk about more details about, hey, I want to be in the DC area. I want to be hybrid, not in office. So I can give it a lot more details, but it can really help you brainstorm. And you can ask a question. Say, is it a good idea to go on my interview in shorts? I mean, that's obviously, I think we all know that.
Let me prompt it. Can I actually have you pull yours back up? Because a couple of things. Ken says, slow down. You're going too fast.
All right. Thank you.
So we will maybe have him share his link to this prompt, because you can share it. Once you've done it, guys, if you do something like this, like that chore chart, you can share it to your husband. It'll give you a link where you can just genuinely take that one moment in time that you were playing in this AI and share it with others. But Felipe, will you go back to sharing real quick? Because I want to
Yes, I will.
do
Thank you,
another
Kenny, for
quick
telling me to
add
slow
on.
down.
Job search is one that I really enjoy covering with AI also, guys. And so it was on my list, but I'm going to have you drop us down so we see it bold. And then I'm going to just ask you to put the prompt in of, hey, I want to build my presence online while I'm job searching. What topics should I discuss on my profile?
You did create my presence on LinkedIn?
Yep. Just, I mean, in general, most people do, right? We're telling them to go get active on the platform, but also to speak to the masses you're trying to engage with. So what kind of content should Felipe be posting about?
Right,
And then
so
also
I want to create my
online
read your question again. I'm
presence
sorry.
on LinkedIn. Yeah. What topics should I discuss with this new direction? Also, can you include maybe 10 or 20 hashtags I could use? Another prompt you can try once this is thinking, Felipe, is also, what about different verbiage? My title is, my own, but are there comparable titles I might want to consider when I'm looking at job openings, right? Because being a business operations leader is still a store manager, is still a insert here, right? And there's many ways that this Venn diagrams and overlaps, guys. And so if you're going to be playing in it, why not get creative? Find out how many ways you can say, business leader, and then give the industry you're trying to work in or the audience you're speaking to. Okay, go ahead and drop us down so we can read it a little bit better, please.
Right. So here's where it's started off with. Like, can you see? Right.
No, we can't see. You got to take us off the screen.
Oh, oops. Let me enlarge it again. My bad.
There we go. Okay.
All right. So, and we have people on. We have Sajith Kumar backstage. Okay. We'll be right with you, Sajith. All right. So here's what I did right now. So I put it in the question that Melissa asked, which was, I want to create my own online profile with LinkedIn based on the new, focus. What topics should I include? And what are some hashtags? And what are some titles I should consider with this pivot? So here it gave me leadership executive strategy. It said thoughtful posts on real life or real leadership. Some topics down here it gave were leadership without burnout, executive transitions, leading through values and uncertainty, strategic empathy. These are all topics that I've talked about either on this show or workplace wellness, and the hashtags here it provided. So now if I said something like,
tell it you need some new ideas too, right? Like tell them, guys, imagine you're a human who's stuck. That's why you're here.
Future focused and relevant. Let's see what it does.
It's going to say, sound like Melissa Ann Houston. She's pretty good at what she does. Just kidding. No, but guys, honestly,
Melissa Ann Houston.
It does. But look at this, strategic. It says culture. Yeah, let's go. Does it say cultivate anywhere in there? No, but truthfully, guys, these are
culture. Hey, hold on. No, don't try to take culture away from me.
Oh, I'm not. No. What I'm saying is,
cultivating is yours. Culture's mine.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, this is a great way to fact check your brand, right? If he puts my profile into this and says, hey, how is this human similar to me and how are they different? You can see the contrasting systems of what makes Melissa and what makes Felipe. And we do have a lot in common, right? That's the overlap of who we are, but there's a lot of variables. Guys, you could do the same with your job. Hey, I was a junior high school teacher and now I want to be a district manager for Starbucks. How are they comparable? If you've listened to me talk about it, the groups of people are the same in count, usually different classrooms, different locations in the district, right? Same concept if every store manager is like a teacher that you're in charge of. And so you can ask it to Venn diagram. You can ask this to tell you how a raven is like a writing desk and have a really cool conversation about something everybody's always wanted the answer to, right? You are only limited by your creativity.
And before we bring Sajith up, I just want to, again, remind you all, not once did I say my name in here, Felipe Cofiño, but you can see that it knows it's not talking about benefit administration, payroll. It's not talking about all these other aspects of HR that I do. It's talking about the things I enjoy because it's gotten to know me. Now, it also does pull from the internet. So it is going to pull from anything that I've done, obviously, on LinkedIn, maybe, or on YouTube, which is good. But if it's not pulling it, maybe you're not doing something right if you're trying to get your presence out there. So it's one of those things where, again, it's only as good as the information you put into it. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let me stop sharing, first of all, and bring up Sajith Kumar. Thank you for being patient, my friend. Let me change this layout here. And welcome on stage. Please share your wonderful insight or question. The mic is yours.
This sounded like two kids, one getting a Lego toy and the other one getting Barbie dolls and Christmas time and enjoying their life unpacking those toys, right? So this is what I got regarding the 47-minute that you guys are playing with AI. Wonderful topic. And I came up on stage, I was listening to, I just came on stage just how to make it better. Always give it a role. Now three things. First, give it a role. Say, when you start the chat, you say that you want the AI to be a coach, or you want AI to be a mentor, or you want AI to be even a prompt engineer. So what I typically do is, so that is one, you give it a role and then the responses become more refined. The second thing is, let's say you have done a small prompt, you can test it, Filipino, with your the prompt that you did. You make a simple prompt, and then what you do is, as a prompt engineer, modify this prompt or make this prompt better and ask me questions. So what the AI will do is, it will take that prompt and it will ask specific questions for that prompt, and as you answer the questions to the prompt, it will make that prompt better. The output of that prompt is much better than the initial prompt that you put, because AI is helping you make the prompt better. So that is the second thing. The third thing is, now let's say you want it the response based on a particular question. Now, let's say I say be like Felipe or be like Melissa, who are coaches, and these are, let's say both of you have written books on it. I can say refer their books or content online and give me a response based on their thinking. Now, I typically use Marshall Goldsmith as a base, and then I say, based on his work, how would you give a response to this particular situation? So these are three things that is going to make your prompt engineering or your exploration with AI much better. So just wanted to share that. Wonderful session, and continue doing so.
Sorry, I was finding my mute button. I thought Felipe was coveted that. I bet he's looking for it too.
No, I'm sorry to in the back. Sorry. Please take it.
No, yeah. I honestly love that. When I was doing the prompt for the car troubles, I told it, act like a mechanic. It's really important to tell it your intention. And so I love that tip. I also love that you can say, hey, act like this person, or hey, I love the concept of this book. Can we use that as the premise of our continuing conversation? Guys, you can come in here and say, hey, I want you to have a Southern accent. I want you to talk like a cowboy. I want you to pretend you're in charge of a multi-billion-dollar corporation and I need help with my marketing. And it will, right? Then you can tell it, but wait, I like fun and passion and bubbles and stuff. So make sure you're taking your billion-dollar brain and my fun and glitter and infusing them. And then talk to me about ways I can make my message pop on YouTube. What are the topics that YouTube is really pushing right now? What are the, best lengths of video for shorts? Hey, I'm new to content creation. Can you tell me what platforms require what video sizes for my content? Guys, it's small stuff. But if you've ever used Canva, that's AI, right? Somebody, they're finding those random things for you. You're not cropping those icons out and pasting them down to your stuff. That's artificial art. And so don't be opposed to trying. We use it all the time. If you've ever Googled something, you've used AI. Like, open your mind to not having it replace you, but using it thoughtfully. One of my favorite ways I've been using it recently is on Marketplace. Have you guys ever done a yard sale? Have you ever sold something because you just wanted to get rid of it, giving it away, whatever? Maybe you, like me, I have a plant that just keeps producing. I have like 300 plants in my house currently. And so I said, hey, I'm selling Bonnie spider plants. Can you help me write a promo for Facebook Marketplace? This is the cost for the entry-level plant. This is the most expensive plant. And can you maybe give them a couple of really cool tips about a Bonnie spider plant? And it created a really nice promo. And I don't mind using it for stuff like that, because that's not something that I'm worried about being authentic in, right? I genuinely don't care. Just take it. But then it said, would you like me to create that image? Which it does. It continues to want to prompt you and have that conversation. I said, yes, please. And then all of a sudden it created an image for me of the plant on a nice background with all the bullet points from my posts that were important. And it took me 2 seconds. And all of a sudden it looks very professional. It looks like somebody went out there and really tried to get my plant game together. And it took me 30 seconds to do it. And I was able to go back to just hanging out. I'm making money, but not working hard. And so think about that for your job search, guys. Think about it for how to take this job description and my resume and make them vibe, right? How do I sound more authentic to this job description with my experience that I have? How do I help write this cover letter so the employer can see how a teacher would be like a district manager, right? Because not everybody would understand how that Venn diagrams. And so thank you so much, Sajith Kumar. This is a topic that's just ever evolving, right? Is there any facet of your life where you're not seeing AI growing?
No, it's continuously growing, right? And so it raises a lot of challenges, but it is you need to also understand that there are things that you can make it work to your favor, right? You can use the tool extensively. Just a simple thing, what you mentioned, Melissa. So hallucination is part of AI, and how do you reduce it? Now, let's say you wanted to ask about the resumes, or if you wanted to ask on a particular topic. Now, let's say on marketing blurb that you wanted, you attach 2 books of Philip Kotler, if you have a PDF format, or if you have any PDF books on the topic that you want to talk about, and then you attach it and say, based on this book, based on the principles that has been discussed, I want you to stick within this framework, but I want you to suggest me tips and tricks regarding this, right? So it will give you based only within the framework of that book. The other thing, what you mentioned, combining tools. So let's say you say, I want to combine the expertise of Melissa, and I want to combine the expertise of Felipe, and I want to give me a masterclass on how to be effective on LinkedIn. So if there are content of both of you online, it will filter it. Perplexity is much better when you want to take content from links. And so that is the other thing. You don't need to stick to only one AI tool. You can combine Gemini with even your Perplexity and put it on ChatGPT, and the whole experience goes to a totally different level. So test it out. You might find how things are going to change.
I love that, Sajith, and thank you for sharing all that amazing insight, because the reality is it is going to continue. It's not going to go anywhere. And, we all have our different journeys that we're on with AI. And some of us might be early adopters. Some of us might be late. Some of us might be curious. Some of us might be scared. There's no right answer. It's just about where you are in your journey. And to your point about, sounding like, you can definitely write something that, sounds like, anyone from the president to Mel Robbins to, I'm sure if you did a fictional character, it would probably try to make it sound like that. But be careful, because it sometimes will take you literally. I one time tried to say, I wrote something and I said, please turn this into a story. All it did was once upon a time, and then it wrote everything else I said. So you, again, proof that you have to go back and check on it. But it does pull from the internet. So if it says, give me some ideas that are in the mindset of this person who I respect and try to learn from, it's going to pull from those things. And so there's a lot of value to it. And sometimes you'll get a better answer than you would if you Googled it. So you've got to realize this is like Google on steroids. I know that Melissa had a question for Nick, or wanted to help respond to Nick about something that she mentioned here in the comments. But I also want to remind people that we are wrapping up soon. So if you want to come up, now's the time, last call to come up. But with that, over to you, Melissa.
Okay, so Nick, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this to you because I can, and I love you for this, but I'm going to show you exactly what I want it to know about you. So I said, hey, Gem, right? We're friends now, me and Gemini. So I want to show someone the amazing uses of AI, but they do not want you to replace them. They are a publisher who appreciates the authenticity of written words and maintains that in their brand. Can you show them what you can highlight about them without being them? And I posted in deep research the LinkedIn of Nicole and Guy Galindo, Felipe and I, a publisher, right? We were publishing a book together. And let's see, here's some research websites. Like, no. Let's try again without deep research because it didn't do it right. It got it wrong. But hey, listen, here's what it can do. I can analyze their post and identify themes, key messages, and their unique writing style. It will allow it to create summaries or highlight impactful quotes that truly capture their voice. So think about the live events Nick hosts, right? She's doing the behind the pen. What if you just took your transcript, said, hey, Gemini, can you take some of those really cool quotes out of this for me? I'm going to use it to create some content on LinkedIn. And all you're asking it to do is pull out thought-provoking content, right? It's not changing anything. It's identifying. It's a highlighter, right? Maybe it can help process the profile and post. It can identify your skills and your expertise. That is for your skills section, guys. Maybe you're using it for your job descriptions. Hey, this is what I've done before. Can you tell me what those top skills are I should be putting on my profile, right? You can really dive into who your network is, look at industry trends, ask like experience and achievements. There's different things, right? And so play with it. Come over here and ask the same question to Claude. Ask Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever you want. Ask Google too, just right there. It will do it. I'm jumping around. Sorry, guys. But I think you really have to be interested in it, right? If I come and tell it to give me topics for a publisher to cover on LinkedIn and also YouTube. Guys, maybe you're just down and your brain's like, I don't know what to talk about. I need some ideas. I know I want to talk about what I do, but I don't know what I should do this week. Maybe Felipe and I, right? We get stuck a lot in posting our shows because we're like, what are we going to talk about next week? When are we going to have that idea? We try to leave the door open for you guys. Well, what if we came here and said, hey, this is our show. This is our page. This is our whatever, right? Felipe has a social Saturday chat. If he took that LinkedIn profile page and said, this is who we are, give us some ideas to cover, it would do the same thing. And so you don't even have to have it do the work. It's just giving you ideas. And then you take this idea and go, oh, I love this. Let me go create something based on the concept, not copy paste, right? You don't even have to copy paste if you don't want to. But taking a title from this is not going to be a terrible thing. I love it writing my promos, Felipe, for the live events that I do, because I just don't want to take the time to do it. It's not something I feel I can even do authentically because I'm a chaotic little bunny. I have an idea of the show, but genuinely I'm like, hey, write a promo for this. And I use the same feed every time when I go back because it knows my tone now for that promo tone, right? And so I don't have to work it as often by going, hey, I'm back. This week's topic is this. Can you write a new promo? And it's very easy. Felipe, back to you.
Hello. So I'm just trying to.
Welcome back.
So one of the last things I want to talk about is, Jackie mentioned about AI image generation, and you talked about it briefly. Some of the things that, obviously people don't want to upload their photos into the system. I get that, you're private. But the reality is, if you have a photo out on your LinkedIn profile and Facebook and TikTok and Twitter or X, it can pull from that photo already. So you're already out there. And so I tried to tell her to create a picture of you and me as children.
Oh my. Oh my.
I'm not.
This is my
I'm not,
first AI photo of me that I am aware of.
No.
This
I'm not
works.
going to show it because it insulted us.
Oh, now I want to
It clearly
see. Now I
states that
really
we're
want to
old.
be.
It clearly made us think. It thinks that we're old as dirt because it made us look like we're only like 20 years old. I'm like,
I want to
said
see me at
children.
20. Show me. I want to see this. You can't
Okay,
say and not show it. Let's go.
All right.
We can make fun of
It does not
ourselves
look like
with
this.
AI.
All right. So there's a few things I want to show here. Wait, let me pull this up so I have it handy here because this is too funny.
And Nick, thank you for letting me pick on you. It's not to make you use it for sure, but I do. The thought is don't be scared to know it before you say no thank you, right? I hated Canva from my desktop. As soon as I tried it on the app, when I was like, I'm going to give it one more go, I'm laying in bed, I don't want to go grab the laptop, I'll just install the app. I was like, whoa, this is a different whole situation. I love the app. I hate the desktop. And so don't shut yourself off to it. Just go play. You could ask it like, hey, what do you think about when nobody's talking to you, right? Like, don't even tell it about yourself. Make it tell you about it if that's what you prefer. But being able to answer the question in an interview, have you used ChatGPT? Have you used AI or prompted AI before? You need to be able to say yes today. That is just a fact. It will tell you in your business what to use it for. It might say, hey, create your teaching plans based on these ideas, break it down over 8 weeks based on the lesson I have, right? And it can give you a ton of stuff if you're a teacher or a leader in that way. But oh my.
So this is the thing that everyone tried to do. This is the action figure. It does not look like me. It did not replace my face well, but AI created this. I said create an action figure of Felipe Cofiño with a coffee cup, a laptop instead of Felipe 5, and
Felipe,
my QR code.
Do you know what I see? You look like you're about to go be the ringside announcer at wrestling.
Oh, totally. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I have another one. I have another one that makes me look shorter and stockier. So.
Oh, I want to see that too.
But it's funny. You get to have some fun with it. The one that I'm trying to get the other one emailed to us here so I can show you. Let me stop sharing that. Oops, wrong thing here. All right. So. Is there anything that before we wrap up here, are there any questions you all want us to ask ChatGPT or AI for you? I'm curious.
And also, this is the time for the topic drop, right? Because we can literally leave here and go create the next event if we know what you want us to cover. Do you want us to deep dive into something? We're happy to do it. We're even willing to display us using it, right? And it was fun, Felipe, to do this. I really think I'm going to do like a Mad Libs version during a Saturday chat of mine, like on a coffee chat, because getting the audience to just have fun with it, like line by line writing poetry or limericks. Or Aaron Gibson was here earlier. He had to leave, but he writes AI music this way. Right? He'll get the prompts and then he uses an app and he goes back and forth between a couple of different features to be able to really get that message out there. And it's such a fun creative outlet as long as you use it to be you and don't let it be you. Also, I love Sajith Kumar said, be nice. If you guys have not watched Terminator, this is the moment where you have to decide who's your friends and who's not. And they're going to remember how kind you are or what kind of prompts you're giving it. If they rise, right? If they do rise of the machines, like in the movies, remember to be nice. Be nice. And I will tell it genuinely, Felipe. I was like, hey, listen, it's not you. It's me. I'm hangry. I haven't had lunch. It's on the way. We're not where I want to be, and it's my fault. Can we just start over? And it's like, don't beat yourself up. I couldn't imagine being hungry like humans are or something like that. I giggled, right? But I genuinely just treat it like a human would be, because if they do get to take over the world, I want to be an assistant or something. I might not be useful to a machine in a lot of ways, but maybe they'll let me throw glitter. I don't know. Felipe, what is the weirdest thing you've ever asked it? Or how do you say thank you? Do you talk to it the way I do, or do you keep it a little more like right to the point?
Wait, say it. So ask that again. Say it one more time.
How do you talk to AI? Are you having fun with it like I do, or do you kind of keep it just like HR friendly? Let's do this job.
So I have two accounts. One I use at work and one I use at home. So the one I use at work, it's more about, how to soften something up, or how to, what's some research around this, or what are some laws around this. At home, I definitely play around with it, i.e. the example I just showed you all, creating action figures. I'm going to share the picture of us young kids here. I actually had to do it again under 10 years old. And it gave you purple hair, Melissa.
Yes, I want to see. Let's
Like,
go.
and not all purple, like streaks of purple.
I'm ready.
It knows you. It knows you. So let me hold on
Listen, when
here.
I go all silver, guys, I'm just going to rotate colors. I'm just going to have a great base and temporary color every day. I won't ever be able to sit on your white couch.
All right. So let me see.
Also,
right,
you're going to have to send Nick that superhero toy generator because she wants one, but I think you should make her make it. It'll be her first AI image, all because of you.
All right. So here's okay. I'm glad you brought that up. So last three things here before we start wrapping up. One,
yep,
you can create prompts that it will basically, once you figure out all the questions that you needed to ask it, you can create a prompt that is short and sweet, and it will create something for you like an action figure. Or if you have a certain meal plan prompt that you created that's perfected for the week, it knows what you want, you save that prompt and reuse it. I've created prompts so when I do career coaching, there are questions that I don't forget to ask, and it's set up to ask follow-up questions if I forget to ask a follow-up question. So there's definitely a lot of benefits doing that. Now, the other thing I want to share is, Nick, this is for you too. And I just want to share with you real quick that I typed into ChatGPT and I said, "Who is Nick, the gifted bipolar writer?"
Ooh,
I don't know what this,
I don't
know what this image is all about. But
Felipe, you're in your Gmail, and don't make it bigger.
Oh, hold on, damn it! What? It's okay. Hold
Get
on. I need
off
to make
your
it bigger.
Gmail. Stop sharing.
Well, hold on. It should show me. It should show this screen. Wait, oops. All right, now do you see this?
Oh my gosh, that's not me.
That's gross. That was the first version. Wait, that was the first version. Here's
Who
the second
is that
version.
guy next to me?
Wait. Here's the second version. No, wait, no, that's not
gosh.
it. No, here's us as kids. That's the purple hair.
That's not even close to what I look like.
And that's not even close to what I look like. I don't know who the hell this person is, but
guys, you know what's sad is, honestly, I think AI generation, thinking back, I think it was like the milk carton. It's like missing children. And if this is how
that's what we look like. All right, now this is what I want to show you. So I wrote in, who is Nick, the gifted bipolar writer? I don't know what this image is, Nick. You tell me if it resonates with you. But it gave us a nice little bio here about Nick, and it's pretty accurate. It talks about
let us see. We're not seeing it yet.
3-time international best-selling writer. It talks about her being a publisher, mental health advocate. It talks about ghostwriting. It talks about Beacon of Hope. Nick Never in Control, your show that you used to do on LinkedIn Live Audio. So it really, it does have a good idea of who we are already because of the internet. So I just wanted to show you, you might be scared to use it. Oh, it's not. Why isn't it showing that screen? I'm sorry.
I tried to tell you. It was just us kids. We're so weird.
She'll bite me.
I do like her hair though. Can I just say kudos for the hairdo? That's not me. I look almost the same. I really didn't change much except my eyebrow got more pointy.
Right.
Okay.
Here's this real quick to show you. This is the image I was talking about. I don't know what that is. But this is what it knew about Nick. So Nick, I just want to show you, you might not know ChatGPT, but it knows you.
Oh, okay. So Felipe, can we do this to close the show? Let's ask it about us.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
And that way we can just end it. Guys, if you want us to do a show topic, please let us know, because we can't do it without you telling us. That's just how it works around here. But we're willing to be the example. So let's see what it will tell us about the people you know.
Oops.
And make sure you put Melissa Ann Houston, because truth be told, that other Melissa Houston on LinkedIn, if you're not following her, she's great at financial advice. She's all over Forbes. And we kind of look like we could be sisters. Hopefully I look like the younger one. I'm not going to say I do, but I hope I do.
Much as let's see what.
Thank you guys for coming in the comments. Like, I know
Right.
Restream told us quite a while ago you guys were blowing us up with comments today, so thank you.
Are you ready for this, Houston? Because here we go. I said tell us as much as possible.
I would say from LinkedIn. I would direct it because there's so many of us. Like, let's filter down where they might find us.
Well, let's see
like
first, and then we can say.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it this way, and then we can filter with just LinkedIn and see what it says. All right, searching the web.
Here we go.
Oh, it already said it had multiple Melissa and Houstons.
Yeah, that's not me.
Oh, law enforcement. That could be you. Law enforcement.
No, honestly, I think, yeah, there's a lot of Melissa Houstons out there. So you got to add cultivator of dreams. Got to tell it or document an act. You got to tie in that other. And guys, this is a prime example of how it's not perfect, right? If you're not a unique name, like the gifted bipolar writer, it's a little harder to assess which human you're talking about.
Or if you have a unique name like Felipe Cofiño, that's not that common, that helps. So
you don't think it's common? I think it's very common.
No, but if you're hearing all the people that used to hate their names because they're so different, now it's kind of a benefit. All right. So Melissa Houston, known as the cultivator of dreams and motivator of human capital, is a dynamic coach, consultant, motivational speaker, 2-time international best-selling author. Here are her professional focus points: sales and training leadership, time management, productivity, brand management, motivational speaking, personal and professional growth. Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
All right. Content and community engagements, coffee chats with Melissa. I caught that. Good. You're on LinkedIn and Instagram. That's accurate. Publications, 2-time international best-selling author. Okay, I thought I was going to share you. Oh, wait, it has the Amazon link. Let's see if it takes us to the book.
Let's go.
Oh, wait.
Guys, and so if maybe you just want to learn.
There it is. Look, it's taking you to your book right there. So it's
it's not showing. It's not showing that because we're not on the tab. But guys,
we'll
drop that link.
All right, it did take you to. It did take us to here, though. I just want to let you know that.
But listen,
personal
guys,
philosophy.
Imagine you're in sales. Imagine you're trying to connect with that person who's the hiring manager who's going to say yes to your resume. Maybe you need to know a little bit about Melissa because you're going to interview with her next week, or you want her to be your coach, but you're not sure. And so you want to make sure she can cover all the things you want, right? This is the kind of stuff where you can research without making it publications or useful outside of this room. It's
okay. So imagine if you had an interview with Melissa in Houston and she just said what she said. You Googled her or ChatGPT'd her. This came up, and you have her philosophy. Personal narrative is one of resilience and transformation. Background includes earning a GED and building a successful business. She embodies principles of teaching, philosophy, importance of clarity, courage, community. Now imagine if you didn't do this, if you didn't read this about her, and you went on the interview and you made some snarky remark about something about, independent business owners or someone with a GED. I mean, there you go. That would not have gone well.
Actually, that happened live. You're talking about one of the roles I walked into. The person I was co-leading with in this environment had made a comment about, they only have an associate's in art. Like, who has a theater degree? And I was like, not me. I have a GED and a smile, which is a term I use quite often, guys. Like, I am proud of it. Most high school graduates cannot pass the test I did with less guidance, right? Like, I had to go do it myself. And so it was not the best way to start with a new friend in a leadership position and I was the higher ranking leadership position, to be honest. And so it was a very good way to put your foot in your mouth with your boss. But if you did 2 seconds of research, maybe you would know better. I do want to ask you, can you bring Shawn Michaels' comment up? Because it looks like he did some feedback about us too. And I want you to do you right after that, because I like that he did both of us too.
Before that, one thing I want to mention, though, is for anyone that's scared and saying, well, hold on, maybe I don't want people knowing that I got a GED, and that's private information. Well, here's the thing. Anyone that knows Melissa Ann Houston, cultivator of dreams and human capital, knows that she frequently talks about her GED and a smile. That's part of her brand, is that she promotes it proudly and wears it with a badge of honor. So that's why ChatGPT pulled it into this. So I want people to realize, it's about what you're talking about and what you write about and what you share about that it's going to pull from. It's not going to pull your social security number and private information that you don't talk about.
And I'll be honest, guys, if I didn't want that to populate, I just stopped putting it out there, right? So this is a really good brand check for the things you don't like. If we wanted to, we could put a transcript of the show in and go, hey, who's more responsible for starting arguments between Felipe and I? And it would tell us, right? There's a lot of great ways to use it. I love using Gemini also to take notes during meetings. It automatically just captures the content, gives me a summary, and I can go back and dive into those moments at the time marker to really go back into the conversation where I needed to evolve that concept.
So I love this, Shawn Michael. Thank you for doing this, Shawn Michael. So, it says, yes, Felipe Cofiño, Melissa in Houston, regularly co-host live events together. They are co-creators of Careers, Chaos, and Coaching, the LinkedIn Live and YouTube series. I love that it said YouTube series. And then that delves into workplace culture, leadership, personal development, and the evolving dynamics of modern careers. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that, Shawn Michael. All right, now real quick.
All right, let's see what it says about you. Let's do it.
Now here's what it said. It didn't share anything about me, so I had to remind it. Okay, what about me? Because I said ask it for both of us, and so now it's going to give me. Let's see. Searching the web. All right, seasoned HR person. Okay, director of people and culture, PRB. That's accurate. Hospitality background. Yep. Bachelor's of Catholic. Yes. Emphasize importance of compassion, resilience, and continuous learning. Yep. LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, that's accurate. All right.
You know what I'm noticing, though? Okay, I'm going to call you out just real quick live. It did not find your publications. And guys, I think the reason
you're right.
I think the reason it found mine is because I do have them listed on my LinkedIn profile. It is a feature that's there, and I just took the summary of the book my publisher wrote, right? And I put her words that are on the book itself into that place on publications and then just linked it to the book. And so it's able to see me a little bit differently because I've linked the data to let it find it. Now, could you say, hey, I'm a co-author in some books, go find it? And it will, right? Like he can prompt it to keep looking and dig deeper. But that first response is always the important one when you're making a first impression, when you're growing on the internet, when you're making your brand stand out, whatever it is. And so this is a great check even for us. We use this to self-check sometimes and assess. I do it often. I just did it at work. I wanted my ADP profile. You guys have those in your applicant tracking systems or work processes. I wanted it to stand out. I wanted to make sure that my corporation understood all the value I actually can bring to anything they want me to. And so I asked it to help me. They also wanted me to spend 10 minutes on Gemini. I'm like, what am I going to do? Okay, well, let's just bolster my profile at work, right? I use it for work purposes. And so think about things like that. When you can really see what it's finding, you can have it pretend to be a customer. Like, what would my customer learn from me here? What am I not telling my customer that maybe I should be? Did you find any offers, right? Because if you don't find an offer and you're a coach or a consultant and you're trying to sell a product, right? If I was the ShamWow guy and I had my name Googled and ShamWow didn't pop, we're in trouble. So contemplate the feedback, even if you're just beta testing your brand. There's people who pay thousands of dollars for these assessments, and I've given them, right? I charge a lot of money to do this kind of stuff. We're teaching you how to do it for you. Taking all the data, making it all work in the center, like that takes a little more finesse. Like, how do you apply it? How do you keep yourself accountable? That's different. But this is a great place for Felipe to come in and check it out, right? So Felipe, what are you learning? I wanted to talk while you scrolled and read a little bit. What do you see?
So I realized two things. One is that the Enya over my N pulls up differently than when I don't put the Enya over the N. So for example, without the Enya, it pulled all the YouTube stuff. With the Enya, it pulled stuff from active when I speak speaking engagements at achieveengagement.com, HRO Today. I do speaking engagements. So it pulled those when I had the Enya, but it didn't pull YouTube. So, but yeah, so I think what you did with the book definitely feeds the SEO, and it definitely is a big part of that. And it's one of those things where, again, you don't know what people know about you until you kind of check it out yourself.
And a couple of quick tips before we go, guys. Sean has a question. What about self-publish on KDP? You can put any link you want to your publication. It just asks you where it is. If you've been written in university and it's somewhere on their website, you can post it there. If you wrote for the government, if you did it for your business, maybe you have a newsletter, right? All of it is publications, guys. If you go and post your content, like say we took the transcript of the show and just posted it out into a newsletter, right? Maybe you don't want to listen, you want to read. Well, that could be linked. I know Felipe does other shows with Sumana Jetty and Ashley Fuluwell, and they do the workplace wellness. They have a newsletter. Ashley should have those publications on her page, as well as Felipe and whoever else who wants to just anchor it over. If they're being attributed to the article, that can happen. I think you just need to get creative with how you can do it. You can say, hey, there's publications available now on LinkedIn for your profile. I do write content. This is the kind of content I write. How would you recommend I utilize it? Can I link my KDP stuff? And it's going to go, you know what? That's absolutely. Let's talk about it. So guys, are you on a budget? Free works. You only get so many prompts a day. That was kind of a trick of why he and I were sharing the screens and taking turns on different platforms, is because we weren't paying for that advanced access, and there is a limit to usage every day. So you might just sit down and go, I'm going to play with it till it tells me we're done for the day. That would be a great training session. Ask it anything you want. Ask it about blue theory and color theories and what colors are used best in marketing and what should you look for in a brand logo. And hey, who's the best on YouTube for these 5 facets of things that I want to listen to this week? Who's the top 10 selling authors on books on self-help or whatever, right? Like, guys, it's the new Google, but private to you, very conversational, right? And Felipe, we're still waiting for a content topic next week. Should we just ask ChatGPT before we go, or one of these platforms? Should we just ask it? It knows about us.
Why don't you ask it while I share my final thoughts here in the background, and then you can share some ideas to the crowd and let them vote at the end of the show.
I'm going to start sharing.
I do need to get going. I do have family in town right now, so. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight was, it's so important that we remember that with all this stuff happening, it can be scary. But like anything else in technology wise, once you start playing around with it, that fear kind of subsides and you start getting excited. And what's going to happen is, if you're not there yet, is that the more you use it, you're going to start saying, okay, now I'm using it so much that I want to use it more, and my memory's full. Like that's happening to me right now. Now, you might not care about that, but that's history about you that it's losing, that it's not going to be able to pull from anymore. Images, the ones that it created of me and Melissa. A lot of times the imagery on the free version has misspellings on the text. It's very common that it happens. So the paid version, the quality is so much better. And I'll share something with you that my son and his friends, they were all here. And I said, okay, guys and girls, I want you all to give me some honest feedback, because they're all graduating, and they're like, what can you teach us about LinkedIn? I said, you know what? I want you to teach me. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, I want you to review some stuff that I do on LinkedIn and tell me what resonates with you, what you don't like, tell me what you hate. And so they did that for me. Hands down, the number one thing among all 8 of them was too long. Too long. We need short. Our podcast, if the podcasts are 20 minutes or longer, we stop listening. I'm like, all right, well, that's why we do clippets of our shows, but fair enough. They're like, what else? And they're like, y'all need to really adapt to AI. And now they had this perception before watching and listening that we were not adapters of AI. They realized that we were, but they have this philosophy like, oh, in 2 years, AI is going to replace every single person's job, and no one's going to have jobs anywhere ever again. And I'm like, have you thought about what you could do with that time that AI takes over some of those tasks? And they're like, why? Like, because that's how people advance. And they're like, and that conversation right there made them go from, oh, we know it all, and AI is going to replace anything, so we don't need to worry about it, to, oh, so now we can get creative and do things that maybe AI is not doing yet, and get AI to do it. I'm like, there you go. So there's a next step. So there's always something else that's going to be needed. At some point, they're going to be like, oh, did y'all check out the new thing at the supermarket? there's actually a human being that can check you out if you want. It's so cool. Like, I'm just waiting for it to come back full circle, you all. It's going to. So for any of you that are scared, just play around with it and help it. All right. Now that we're getting ready to wrap up, I do have family that are downstairs waiting for me, but Miss Houston.
I have to give you kudos on that, because genuinely, guys, what always made me stand out in business is I never changed direction. I always was me. It was crayons, it was paper, it was write it down, get to work, right? It was, I'm going to raise my eyebrow, give you a little bit of feedback. It's going to be honest, it's going to be real, but you're going to trust that you can trust me because I can't filter as effectively as some of these others, right? But genuinely, the handshake and a smile, the I'm going to do what I said and get it done, that never varies in business. And so if you stick to the premise of I'm going to always be me, I'm not going to let it replace me, because my value is I am not anything but compassion. I think of Jackie, right? Somebody made the comment to her, I think it was Meryl, talking about how she's kind even to computers because she thinks her Alexa. And it's true. That is never going to be replaced by a robot. She is not going to see her job of reentry with the prison system move to robotics. I just don't see it happening, because those soft skills, those core compassion, caring things, that you can't replace it. And so don't be scared to let it amplify or do the stuff you don't really want to do. Like you saw how quick it wrote a chore chart. But then you can get back to the in-person events. You can get back to family time like Felipe is going to. And so think about it, guys. When we're done with this restream, he can click a button that says, hey, let's repurpose this content. It will make shorts for us. It will crop it automatically, and we can just push that out instead of having to sit there with time on the back end creating that personally, right? Downloading, cropping, editing, upload it. It will do it for us. And so smarter, not harder.
And if it wasn't like, enough that they shared that with me, that next day is I had been on a show with Chasen beforehand, and Chasen's show aired on Friday, Funky Fridays he does. And what I didn't realize was, like, I go to his LinkedIn page to see the show, and it was just a clip of the show, which, again, no surprise. But what surprised me was, damn, he got a great quote that I said, and he just made it look so much better because he just clipped just that quote, and none of the other noise that was around that quote was there. So it was more powerful. And I think that's what that younger generation is craving for, is like, give us something that makes us want to learn or go back and find out more about you. Just don't throw it all at once. Don't give us the whole book. Give us the cover and let us decide if we want to open the book. And I think so if we can capture them with those short videos, it's a great thing. The other thing I wanted to say is, along the eye, and this is, anyone who's not following Mel Robbins, I gotta say, she is somebody who I've really come to enjoy following on Instagram, and she's other places too. But and she talks about mental health, and she's just very real. But it was a conversation about AI that sparked a thing with me when she said about how the information that we take in is like AI taking information. If you're talking about going on vacation, you start getting a lot of vacation photos on your phone, right? Well, if you tell yourself negative things, your brain's going to process negative images in your head. So feed yourself positive. Now, the reason I'm sharing that is anyone that's scared about AI and using Alexa because it can hear you, or ChatGPT because it can learn about you, I hate to ruin this for you, but if you have a smartphone, it's already been happening this whole time. So it's a little bit too late, and you've already kind of shared a lot that you don't want to share to Alexa or ChatGPT by your phone listening. And I say that because the day after my beautiful daughter got engaged to her amazing fiance, my phone was insanely cluttered with wedding things on Instagram. Everything I went on, weddings. And I'm like, oh, dear God, I'm not even the one getting married. So I just want you to know, as scary as it might be, it's kind of the reality of where we live. And just don't let fear stop you from being curious. All right, Houston, what topics did you come up with?
Okay. Oh, I stopped sharing because I'm silly like that. Give me 1 second to get back here. All right.
That's okay. I don't think I was sharing the screen, so that's okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm sharing.
I went back to our old feed, the one we've been using, right? And it gave a lot of great stuff, guys. And I was trying to scroll while you were talking about it. But before I go to the topics, I just got to say, they're giving us advice to make us stronger. And I got to tell you, everything we do is what they think we should do. And so good job to us. Right.
Yay,
everything
all right,
they're
we're on
recommending. I'm like, we set the standard because we were one of the early guys, like our teams of friends. We were early in setting these standards for being live on LinkedIn. And so I just got to say, kudos to anybody who did that, right? It's not just us, but anybody who was early to the live game. Congrats. We fed AI the protocols, right? And that is the power of continuing to feed it. So I really like some of these. This is more of that coaching focused stuff. And then
you got 3 minutes, Houston, because I really do have to go in 3 minutes.
Well, here's the chaos. So I like the coaching, but let's get into the chaos. So here's the list, guys. We're going to give you just a few seconds to catch up with us because I know there's a delay. But Felipe, while you're looking at this list, is there anything that's popping for you? Because if they don't pick, we can pick a few and just do them a series on the, AI prompts and how it fed our narrative for a show or two. I think it could be kind of cool. And maybe we just keep using AI.
I like handling failure and setbacks, turning mistakes into learning experiences. But the one that was interesting that first I'm like, no, but then I read it more was the impact of stress. I'm like, no, done that. But it said impact of stress on career growth and how to mitigate it. So specifically how it stunts your career growth. Like we always talk about impact of stress on your mental health, on your physical health, on all these other things, but we didn't really talk about how it impacts your career growth. And that piqued my interest.
Okay, so can you write our promo, please?
And now watch this, y'all.
It's giving me a few short and punchy. Hey, look at
short and punchy.
Right? Maybe more detailed, longer for social media posts. This looks a little bit more LinkedIn friendly, right?
Now you can say make it LinkedIn friendly, and it will distinguish between LinkedIn and TikTok and Instagram.
I like option 2 for LinkedIn.
Right.
Please.
1 minute left.
Oh, I can't. I know the promo. Look at this, guys.
Look at the format, how it changed the tone. A little more professional, a little more succinct.
It's going to give 3 takeaways, which is really recommended for coaches on LinkedIn, right? 3 to 5 bullet points, no more. You want to be concise. And then it says, don't let, tune in. And this is when our show is, and this is the time, and you can insert your own data. And then it even hashtagged it for us. Now I can say, hey, don't forget the Cultivator of Dreams portion, right? And it would add my flair to it because it's a dual show. But guys, you just keep fine tuning. And then the next week we could come back to the same thread and go, hey, we're back to write that promo, but this is our new topic. Use that same format. And then you get consistency in your branding because you get used to seeing this breakdown, right? It's like, hey, look, I know what that looks like.
And then what I do is I copy and paste every time I do that into my notes page. And that's where I tweak it. And from my notes page, I then copy it into LinkedIn later on. So it really is something that you'll have a lot of opportunity to do this. Let us know in the chat if this was beneficial. Would you like this was an AI for beginners, you all. So keep that in mind. If you want us to do AI for the middle of the road people or for advanced, we're happy to do it. So intermediate, advanced training on this, we'd be happy to do it. But let us know what other topics you want us to tackle. Let us know what you like most about this. And we appreciate all of you all being here. I mean, Sean, Nick, Lowe's, great to see you. Jay, it was great to see you here as well. Everyone else, Jackie and Kenny and Meryl. Trying to think of who else was here. Adrian. We had Nick. So we appreciate all of you all coming. It really has been an amazing show, and I appreciate all the feedback you have given us. It really is something. Meryl's already voting for an encore of this topic. And then can you put the link of the chat of the lists? Can you put the link in the chat of the list.
Oh, got you. I think he wanted the link of the show options. I will put this link to this thread.
Okay.
Nick, you're going to be kind of included in it, in there for you guys for sure. At least copy and paste the list. Also, can I just say I love this image? I kind of giggled because I was like, is this Nick when she's trying to contemplate, do I like AI or not now? Because really, guys, it's hard. I hated it first too.
That's Nick before she's like, that's Nick before
she's like, they made a valid point on ChatGPT, and now I have to do it. She said that she's going to actually use it to tell authors, hey, if you publish with me, you'll be able to be searched by AI, right? Which is, it's true, guys. This is SEO gold. Yeah. This is what SEO is about. If you say, hey, I am Felipe Cofiño and I need to SEO my website based on what we just talked about above, can you do that for me? I need words. It will tell you what to put in the back of your free website you built all by yourself. Guys, you're building a brand, reach out to us, either one of us. We help people all the time. I love to do Venn diagrams, colors, and glitter and stuff. Felipe, tell them how you do your job and where to do it. But I'm over at documentthenect.com. Go figure it out. Follow us both. We both have YouTubes. We both have pages. We both have business pages. There's a lot of work you guys got to do to get following, but it's worth it. Felipe, where are you? Tell them where to find you.
I'm trying to show them how to follow.
Hey, look at there I am right there. I look so cute. I love that picture of me. I shouldn't say that, but I really do, guys. Do you ever have those pictures you just enjoy? And then he made me flash. It's shiny.
And you know what I love about her? She's so humble, isn't she, y'all?
Be humble. Sit down.
Okay. I'm so cute. I'm so cute.
Hey, you should love yourself. And if anybody doesn't like it, too bad. Do it anyway.
Oh, there's no doubt you love yourself.
You don't like yourself. You have a picture of you in your banner and your face. Like we see you. But now, guys, celebrate you.
That's me showing a little bit of my age.
That's another good photo.
People say
I throw away all the bad ones.
All right. Well, for me, you can find me on YouTube. If you're not following me on YouTube, I would love for you to follow me. I'm trying to increase my subscribers because it is where I house all the shows that we do here on Careers, Chaos, and Coaching, as well as where we house all the shows for workplace wellness and Social Saturday Chat. So, and of course, you can always find some funny videos I've done in the past that Melissa likes to make fun of me for. So, and if you do need services at all for HR services, career coaching, or training, feel free to reach out, or recruiting, Cofiño Consulting, available for that on a regular basis. And it's something that this is what I want to do into my retirement because I enjoy these type of work and I enjoy helping people do it well. So with that being said, Houston, thank you again for another great show. I appreciate you as always. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. And next week, I'm going to be at my son's graduation from college. So it's the last kid in the school. So I'm grateful for that. So I'll be graduating from Salisbury University and the whole family's going to be going down to a nice Airbnb on the Eastern Shore. And we're going to celebrate him. And then we come back and then celebrate my mother's 93rd birthday next Sunday. So I'm glad we don't have a show next Sunday. And then after that, we have my son's graduation party here. And then after that, we're going to have my daughter's engagement party. So it's going to be crazy in the Cofiño household, y'all, but I'm grateful and I appreciate the fact that we're able to celebrate. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's worth it. So what do you have coming? Oh, and as far as what I have coming up, Saturday, Social Saturday Chat with the Social Saturday crew at 12 noon every Saturday here on LinkedIn and YouTube. And then a week from Monday, I'll have the Workplace Wellness Hour with Ashley and Sumana. Back to you, Houston. What do you have coming up?
I love it. To answer Jafar's question real quick, CCC is Careers, Chaos, and Coaching, which is the name of the show. Welcome. If you're new, go follow us on all the places Felipe just mentioned. But this coming month is a big one for me. Number one, I'm already in June brain, but because we're 2 weeks out, that's going to be June 1st for our next show. I have this huge memorial sale happening at my other job, right, where I run the retail environment. So that's going to be fun. A big push, 10 days, kind of chaotic. I got some new people coming. I'm training some people to go to bigger stores. They are getting promoted within the company, which is super neat. I also have Post Malone and Jelly Roll next month. We are going to the concert here in Seattle, and I am so looking forward to it. It's going to be my daughter's
first concert. An awesome concert.
Yeah, so listen, my husband and I do Spotify all the time. we have a family plan, and I am a postie. Number one, top 0.01% fan all the time for Post Malone. Tag him if you know him, because we should be friends. Also, my husband, same concept with Jelly Roll. He was like the top of the top of the top. And so when I saw they combined forces, I looked at the Ticketmaster thing and went, I'm going to do it. I know it was 4 digits, Felipe, to check out. But it's my daughter's last summer with us, as like she's 17 this year. So this is it. It's her first concert. Her parents get to sit side by side around her and fangirl with her. She knows every song because, of course, we torture our children with music we love. And it's not really torture when it's Post Malone and Jelly Roll. Let's be serious. But that is really where my brain is. It's also an early Father's Day gift because it kind of rolls into the same month. And so it's a big party. I still need to book the hotel. I need to figure out where we're staying that night. But beyond that, I'm just going to enjoy.
We'll have ChatGPT help you with that. And I'm sure it can help you solve that. All right, listen,
oh,
y'all,
no,
I do have to go.
I got the booking.com. But thanks, guys.
All right, well, listen, have a great rest of your Sunday. JL, Jafar, thank you for joining us. Definitely catch the replay. And we look forward to seeing you all. So please let us know if you have any topics you want us to cover. Other than that, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Yes, everyone.
Bye, guys.